Lovecraft Sunday to all of you guys. We have an episode 3 season 1 review of Holy Ghost here in full spoiler detail. We're going to be diving into this episode. I got my notes ready. I'm sure many of you guys do as well. So if you guys are new here and you guys are loving Lovecraft Country just as much as I am and you want a place to come discuss this episode in full spoiler detail, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because every Sunday I'm going to be providing you guys with some reviews for Lovecraft Country, and especially this week's episode we have a lot of stuff to talk about in particular in this episode. So we're going to dive right into it, and of course guys, leave that comment down below because the last few weeks you guys have been nailing it on those comment section, leaving a lot of great thoughts, and I've loved seeing every single one of the intriguing details and maybe even things that I miss out on when it comes to symbolism. I am loving this show. I actually just started reading the book, really like the book so far, but episode 1 is one of the best pilots I've ever seen for a season 1. It's absolutely phenomenal. And episode 2, I didn't love. I liked it. I really liked it. And especially the second rewatch, I liked it even more. But episode 3, holy crap, again, goes back up to there, and I am in love with this show. One of the things I really notice in the show, and especially the structure of how the show is going, is in a sense they're kind of doing the Lovecraft thing. Lovecraft came up with so many different stories, but they always weaved an intriguing narrative throughout it. And what they're doing with this is, in general, every single episode is dealing with a different type of horror creature, or in general, just a different type of nature. The first episode dealt with the vampire creatures. The second episode dealt with the magic and the cult and the witches and all that weird, crazy stuff. And this episode is dealing with a haunted house. And I'm loving how they're doing that because all at the same time, it's weaving something that's narratively important to our characters, Atticus, Lee, and many others, and it's so intriguing to see where this show is going to go because it's a very unpredictable show. I have no idea where this show is going, and I'm loving every minute of it because of that thing. It's been very rare when I've watched a show and I'm like, oh, I could have predicted that, I could have predicted this. This show's totally wild and unpredictable. It's one of my favorite elements for the show, including the atmosphere as well. The atmosphere has always been very strong for the show, and we've already seen that very particularly play well inside this episode nonetheless, and especially the way that it builds off the last few episodes. This house already has this mysterious vibe to it of what's going on in it. We know what's happened in this house, but what is going on in this house? Why is all this stuff going about? And the atmosphere, the haunting nature of this episode already plays out in that nature. Of course, they move in, and one of the first nights we really kind of get into there is, of course, when Leigh is sleeping, and you see that little arm creep up, and I go, oh, what is that? What is that arm? Oh my god. And then you see the face of the thing and the ghost, and I'm like, ugh. It kind of reminded me of Haunting on Hill House or 13 Ghosts. Kind of brought back memories of those movies. And in general, I was just like, ugh, that's disgusting. That you get the fuck away. I just like jumped out of my seat and I go, oh, don't show me that. Love how that haunting nature just comes to play. It makes it for such a fun, campy horror film that really feels in a very serious manner, as the way that it not just deals with the monsters and the ghosts and all that stuff, but also the horrors of real life of living in this time as an African American. I love how they're dealing with the race element as well. But Letty moved into an all-white neighborhood, and that's already dealing, of course, they put the cars outside, have horns completely blaring. They know they can't do anything because if they do, they'll get arrested, and it adds to such a type light. But this is truly an episode that really deals with the aftermath of George's death, which was a major part of this season already. And again, last episode, I didn't think George was going to die. I really didn't think he was. No, the dude's dead, and it breaks my heart because I love that character already. But seeing the aftermath of how every character is handling it is very unique and very special. And again, one of the most particular ones that really gives to just great acting is the aunt in here, and the way that she is handling it. You know, the love of her life died, and just when she's ripping the book, the guilt, the mourning, and all that loss that you can just see in her eyes is fantastic acting. And in general, just plays a really key part inside this whole episode, because once the house party starts, you get that Ouija board scene, which then again adds to the daughter, and of course, the aunt, and so many different things, and it's spooky, and then George's name comes about. But this particular house party had one of the biggest moments in there where the sexual tension flared up between Atticus and Leigh, and we sit in there and we're going, all right, they're gonna kiss, right? Like, he has to kiss her. Like, dude, just walk up, grab her off the floor from that guy and kiss her. You know she likes you. You know you like her. I'm trying to be Sebastian for you guys. Just kiss the girl. You need to kiss her. And yeah, she goes to the bathroom. He comes in, kisses her. We see a ghost in the background, though. Spooky as hell as well. They kiss, it goes about, they get disturbed, and something happens with all that nature. And then, of course, they go out and they see a burning cross in the yard. Now, this is when it gets to a very interesting moment with Letty's character, and probably my favorite moment of this whole entire show so far. She grabs the bat, goes out there, and starts smashing the cars. Atticus already knows what's going to happen. Grab the shotguns, we gotta protect her. Nothing came into play with there, but she's smashing these cars in the baddest ass energy she possibly could, and I loved every single moment of that and how they were able to deal with it. What a badass. I love Smollett in this character role. And again, in general, that moment in particular is my favorite moment so far in this whole entire show, besides maybe the opening intro scene for the whole pilot scene, because that was just amazing and awe-dropping. But again, I loved it. It's such a subtle moment, but it speaks so much volumes for her character. She ends up getting arrested, though. All right, we knew that was going to happen. The sheriff starts talking particular elements with this house, which again leads into the next scene, which is Letty inside her little Photoshop room, turns on the red light, great cinematography in there. Of course, then we see that what she's doing within there, the face comes out of the ground through the pictures. It's really creepy and says, "Get out of my house." Everyone starts leaving, and it leads into the money problem between Letty and the money and her sister and everything of that nature. That plays a little bit more into it, but really what it dives into next is this next horror moment in particular of when the priest or some person comes around to come and help them. Atticus, her, and the priest go down in the basement. They're holding hands. They're preaching out to the life. They're trying to get rid of this ghost, and a possession starts happening. But at the same time, there's three despicable human beings trying to what? Hurt them? Well, thank God the house protects them, because this weird baby ghost thing comes out, and that scared the hell out of me. Ends up killing them. Same thing with the elevator killing another person. Just very disturbing and gross, and I was just like, oh my God, what is going on here? The possession scene was really intriguing, though, to see how that plays about. And again, in a very campy way that kind of reminded me, again, maybe of the Evil Dead is too. And it plays out, and this is where I truly feel like Smollett deserves an Emmy nomination for how fantastic she was in this role. This is truly an episode for her to showcase her acting abilities, and it was absolutely superb to see when she's holding all the ghost hands and just the emotion coming out of her saying, "Get out of my house, get out, get out." Such a powerful moment, and I loved how they went about that. It flashes the next day, everything seems to be normal, but of course the elevator shoots down and we see all those dead bodies, and we're like, where is that leading to? I hope that plays into a different part, and that's just not something that's like creepy underneath the house. I want to see where that place goes to. Before we think this episode's about to end, it still doesn't. Atticus sees Braithwaite still alive and having to go in there, points the gun to try and kill her, and it doesn't work. And what happens? Magic. We know that she gave the money to Letty now, and we understand that there is more sinister stuff playing around with her character in Atticus, and especially inside the family lineage, and it becomes such an intriguing concept to see where the show is going. And again, adds into that unpredictable nature of where this show is going. I am loving this show, and I'm sure many of you guys are as well. So again, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking this show every single week. Comment down below your guys' thoughts. Did I miss anything? Was there anything you guys wanted to still discuss? Was there hidden details or symbolism that I missed out on? Let's discuss it. Thank you guys again so much for clicking on this, and of course, until next time, stay classy.